Hello and welcome to a new video. This time a Planet Zoo video, and it is from Dakarai Zoo, my African zoo, and I'm creating the exhibits, the habitats for the Nile monitor and the Aldabra giant tortoise. And as I told in previous videos, I'm only going to use African animals, and those two are African animals, so yeah, I could use them in here. And I really wanted to have some animals already in the beginning, so when you walk into this sort of, I think it's sort of a reptile house maybe, that you can watch some real exhibit animals. Yeah, I think, are the little ones called exhibit animal? I'm really confused right now because the naming of the animals is a little bit different in Dutch and English. So, but here we have the animals in the bigger enclosures and the other one are in the little cages. So yeah, I really wanted to have some of those two in the beginning already, and I just wanted to make the park go out from here so that you go to the left and to the right. So this is like sort of the center where you come in. And yeah, I really wanted to use some small animals because I didn't want it to take up too much of space. So I went looking, and I know the tortoise doesn't have to have a big enclosure, and it is really bad if you give it a big enclosure because it will starve because it can't get to his food. I had that in one of my franchise zoos. I had to make it smaller because it was too big and they couldn't get in their food in time. So yeah, I decided to give them a little bit of a smaller enclosure here, so I don't have that problem, and that it is still plenty big for them, so they don't have to worry about it. And yeah, I really am enjoying the game at the moment. I did fix my waterfalls. I'm gonna build two in the middle, so there you have one on each side. Yeah, I wasn't really happy in the beginning with how that looked like. I also told that in the last video, but I changed it like 4 times or something, but last time I was happy with it, so I also put the footage of that in here. And yeah, I worked a lot with null fences also here because I really wanted to make the walls of the habitat fit in with the building so that it would look like the building was the wall of the habitat. So I worked with the null fence so that one you can see, so it looks pretty. I struggle a lot with the potting system with this game. You see me struggle a lot more later on with the little staff building because I have like the water filtration system in there and a keeper's hut, and it all has to be connected, and later on I'm going to move it further away so I can make the null monitor enclosure a little bit bigger, so you have a little bit more space, and that means I had to redo the padding again. Yeah, and I wasn't too happy about it. So yeah, maybe I get better at it, but I hear other people having trouble with it too, so I feel happy I'm not the only one. But yeah, I'm really enjoying learning a lot of the items better, so learning which pieces there are. I struggled a lot in the beginning because I didn't know what was available and what I could use and stuff like that. So yeah, I was really happy that I started to get to know all the things better. You see me struggling here so much, and I have to do that all again later on. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that, but potting sucks. I love watching and building the animal enclosure. I also love watching the animals and stuff like that. Watch all the guests interact with the animals, like pointing and stuff like. But one of the things I don't really like about this game is the bot system. But okay, we just have to work with it, and I think the potting in the end is pretty pretty good. It turned out pretty good. So yeah, I'm really happy about it. And yeah, as you can see me struggling here still with some of the pieces because I get to know them better and better. So I hope that in the future I don't take that long by picking out stuff like that. And I also really tried fitting everything in. So like this wind turbine, I put some wood around it. So if the guests see it, it looks like it's part of the building. So it doesn't stand out too much because, well, it is the prettiest thing in the world. So yeah, and it is something I don't think fits within the African theme because everything is like wood and looks like pretty, and it just isn't. It is just a big metal thing, so it doesn't look that pretty. And I also tried to be really creative and make some of my own beams and stuff like that, so I really wanted to make it look good. I also did that for the windows where the guests can look into the exhibits, so that it would look nice. And yeah, I also tried to make it all look good here. So yeah, I really think it turned out quite fitting in the wind turbine here. I hope at least it doesn't look too bad because I tried my very best to make it look good. So yeah, and also to hide the path system, I just decided I just gonna place a floor in there. See? You can't see anything about it anymore. So yeah, here you see me placing in the animals, and I skipped the terrain paint because, well, it isn't that interesting to watch. And yeah, it looks pretty much the same every time you do it, so I just cut it out and decided to put in more of placing the enrichment items and stuff like that. I tried placing them in a way that people could see the animals in there, so that they're by the window and stuff like that. Here you see me working on the waterfall. I had that idea because there is this wall in the middle, and I think if I make this rock formation in the middle with water coming out, of course it's a handmade waterfall, it's not a natural one, so it didn't have to be that perfect. But yeah, I just didn't like it the way it turned out in the first try you see me do here. You can see me struggle with the water later on because I never done it before, so I just didn't know what to do, and I really struggled. Here you see me making a little ledge on the bottom. I think in the end it is larger. I don't know if the footage is in there because I changed it up a lot and I had to cut out a lot of footage because I'm really bad at picking what I want, so I try like 10 different options and then go with the first one in the end, or say so. I had to cut out a lot of stuff, and maybe I cut out some stuff of the waterfalls too, but in the end you can see me place the pieces of the water because, well, I struggled a lot with it, so I thought maybe if someone else is struggling with it too, they can see what I've done. I also tried watching other YouTubers that do Planet Zoo videos, but some of them, they're just so fast and so good. I couldn't keep up. So yeah, I tried my best for myself, and yeah, this isn't going to be the end result. I'm going to change it because I also place a tree up top of here, and it's gone in the end because, well, it looks pretty cute, but I thought maybe it is kind of distracting on top of there, so in the end I move it into the Nile monitor enclosure, I think. So yeah, and also the tortoise doesn't like too much of foliage, so yeah, I tried to make it look as pretty as possible and put in as much as possible as I could to make it look good, but to not overcrowd them with plants. And also I hate it when I go to the zoo and there are a lot of foliage in there and you just can't see the animals because they're hidden away. And I really wanted to make sure that the people that visit my zoo would see all the animals. And I know some animals really like a lot of foliage, and you just have to look really closely and search really good in that enclosure to find it. And that's part of the fun too, but sometimes you have like you sometimes just think, oh, maybe they haven't kept haven't cut the trees or something like that. You see me making it bigger here, so I have to do the path system again. I was really annoyed about that, but yeah, I really wanted to give the Nile monitor a little bit more space because with the water, they wanted more water than I expected when the waterfall was done, because I took a lot of space on the edge with the waterfall. So yeah, you see me making it a little bit bigger here. I really wanted to make the water larger, but for some reason every time I did it, they didn't want to let me fill it up back again with water. So I just made one big one and one smaller one, and I put some rocks in between so it looks like it's one. But it's two, but it looks good. So yeah, I'm happy about it, that it looks good. And yeah, I also wanted to make it look a little bit more prettier with some rocks and some plants and stuff in there. But also the Nile monitor doesn't like too much plants either, so it's a little bit bare. I wish I could place more plants in them, and I think you could, but then they won't be really happy with it. And I know in a certain amount it doesn't really affect their happiness that much, but I really wanted to make it look pretty but also make it perfect for the animals so that it didn't have too much foliage coverage and stuff like that. But you see me place a lot of it in like this backstage area and on the sides, because I just really like them. They're so pretty and it looks so good. So yeah, I really like using it. So you see it a lot around the building and in the spaces in between, so like next to the building. Yeah, I'm starting on it now. Yeah, I placed a lot of foliage down, some trees, some elephant grass and stuff like that. The elephant grass, I just love it. It's pretty, it's green, it fills up a lot of space. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'm really happy with the foliage in this one. A lot of times I think like it doesn't look good, or it may be too much or too little, but I'm really happy with how this area turned out. And also the foliage in front of the exhibit. So oh, you see me do the windows first. I really wanted to make it look pretty, so you didn't just have the bare walls of the habitat. So I placed down a lot of self-made like wood and colorful wood and stuff like that. I cut out some parts of it because, well, seeing me place 20 of those things isn't that interesting. So I hope you don't mind me cutting it out. And yeah, I try to make it look pretty so it looks good. And yeah, if they walk up to it, it looks good. I didn't want to do it on the inside because I don't know if those animals really like colors and stuff like that. I like colors and I like to put them on the outside. So yeah, I was really happy with all the colors because I changed them later on to make it more colorful. But yeah, I just started off with these colors to begin with and I changed it later on. Also, I don't know if I'm going to change this, but I've noticed I placed the benches on the outside of the pot and also the lights and stuff like that. But maybe I'm later on will change that the benches are inside, but I will see that. You see me here doing the foliage for around the exhibit. I think it looks really cute and really pretty. And here you see me do the colors. I didn't like the red, so I went for yellow and green. And I think it looks really cute, really nice. So yeah, I'm really happy with it, and also with how the I had this small area between the building and the pod, and I was thinking about putting a fence there like in the rest of the park, but I thought, oh, that would be like such a small area behind that fence that it would look a little bit weird. So I just went for flowers that go over the pod, and it looks great, I think. So yeah, I'm really happy about it. Yeah, I'm really happy how it turned out. So I'm really happy about all the decorations. I know there is a lot of the same decorations all over, but that's because you don't really have that much options in the African decorations. You have the masks, you have the pots and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to make it more different, maybe in the future I can make some decoration out of other pieces and use them, but for now I'm really happy with all the decorations, and I think it looks really pretty, and it is in the background on like the staff building and stuff like that, so it isn't that noticeable as it is right in your face somewhere. So yeah, yeah, I'm really happy with this area. This area is like mostly done now, so the building is done, the habitats are done. Maybe I will make the staff area a little bit bigger later on, maybe with a staff room and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if I wanted to change too much about this. Maybe I put it in a different area. They can go, if they want to take a rest, they can go to the entrance and take a rest there. But yeah, also for the tortoise I went with a yellow. I don't know, it really popped with the orange radish from the trees. So yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out. Also I cut some things out here too, because well, it's very repetitive too. But yeah, I'm really happy. They have inside enclosures for when it rains. People can watch them there, people can watch them outside, they can be outside. They have this more natural water source that I really wanted to have, because I think it is cuter to see the animals drink from the water than from the water fountain. So that's mostly the reason why I went for that. And yeah, I'm happy with these habitats. Of course, I hope you like them too. And for the rest of the zoo, I have bigger projects in mind, so they might take a little bit longer, and they're a little bit more ambitious than this. This is just a little bit more simple than what I want to do for the rest. Of course, I do want some walk-in areas, because I have some animals where you can do that. So yeah, I really wanted to do that. And of course I want some lions in there and cheetahs. I love big cats, so yeah, I really want them in there. I want to do something special for them. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a bigger project. Here you see me redoing the waterfalls, because I really didn't like how they looked. But I think I said everything I could have said. So please enjoy me fixing those waterfalls and making them more beautiful. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!